Let's be real, annual reports can be, well, a little dry. But what if I told you that hidden inside Meralco's 2022 report is this incredible story about a nation's recovery, a greener future, and a vision that goes way beyond just keeping the lights on? So how exactly is one company planning to power a brighter tomorrow? Come on, let's unpack it.
And this image, wow, it really sets the scene, doesn't it? After a really tough period for everyone, Meralco isn't just talking about getting back to normal. No, they're framing their entire mission as this bold step towards a brighter, more resilient future. It's all about hope and pushing past the old way of doing things.
They actually boiled this whole idea down into one single, powerful Filipino word, Sikat. It means to rise, to shine. And look, this isn't just some clever title for a report, it's the heart of their message. It's about lifting each other up, stepping out of the shadows, and being inspired by a totally new vision. This one word really sets the stage for everything else.
All right, so before we get to all the futuristic stuff, let's ground ourselves in what Meralco is right now. At its core, it's a massive distribution utility. And the scale? Honestly, it's just mind-boggling when you start to break it down.
Just let this number sink in for a second. 7.6 million. And those aren't just customer accounts on a spreadsheet. We're talking millions of homes, businesses, and lives, all connected to one grid. Every single one is a point of light that Meralco is responsible for keeping on, 24/7.
And it's not like these millions of connections are all packed into one tiny spot. They're spread across a huge, dynamic region covering almost 10,000 square kilometers. So this isn't just about powering a city. It's about energizing the absolute economic heart of the entire nation. So what does that all actually look like on the ground? Well, you're looking at 38 cities and 73 municipalities, over 500,000 businesses, and it all adds up to this one absolutely crucial point. Meralco literally powers the engine of the Philippines. Because their franchise area covers the capital and all the industrial hubs, they supply the energy for over half, 50% of the country's entire gross domestic product. That light switch in your home, yeah, it's directly connected to the national economy.
Okay, so when you're talking about that kind of scale, it begs a huge question, right? Where does all that energy come from? And maybe more importantly, where is it going to come from in the future? Well, that brings us to their next big chapter, sustainability. This chart right here really shows you the scale of their ambition. Back in 2022, just 3% of their power came from renewables. The goal for 2030? At least 22%. We're talking about a more than seven-fold leap in less than a decade. That is a massive public commitment to making this green transition happen. So who's the driving force behind this huge shift? Well, it has a name, M-Green. This is Meralco's own platform, totally dedicated to large-scale renewable projects. Solar farms, wind, hydropower, the whole shebang. Their target is to build up a portfolio of at least 1,500 megawatts of clean energy. And this isn't just a plan on paper. These projects are already being built.
Okay, and this is where the story gets really interesting, at least for me. Because if you think Meralco is just about poles and wires, you've got to think again. They are actively branching out into these new, future-focused sectors that go way, way beyond the traditional grid.
First on the list, we've got Spectrum. This is basically Meralco's arm for making solar energy accessible to literally everyone, from a single home to a big business to entire industrial parks. So they're not just buying renewable energy from huge plants, they're actually empowering their own customers to generate it themselves. And this isn't some far-off dream, they're already doing it. With over 51 megawatts of solar capacity already installed, Spectrum is actively changing the energy landscape, one rooftop at a time. They're making the vision you see in this artwork a reality right now. Then, moving from rooftops to the roads, we have Sikat. Meralco totally gets that the future of energy is tied to the future of transportation. Sikat is their big push into electric mobility, building out the entire ecosystem from the electric vehicles themselves to all the charging stations they're going to need. And when I say growth, I mean it's absolutely explosive. In just 1 year, they more than doubled their EV sales and increased their deployment of charging stations by 5 times. It's a huge signal that the shift to electric vehicles in the Philippines is picking up speed fast, and Meralco is right in the middle of it all. All right, and the last one, this might actually be the biggest surprise of all. Bayad. A lot of people know Bayad as the place you go to pay your bills, but yep,
It's part of the Meralco group. They are using this massive network of over 100,000 payment points to go deep into digital financial services. They're turning a trusted bill payment system into a modern fintech platform that touches your daily life in ways that have nothing to do with electricity. So you've got this huge core business, this big green energy push, and all these cool new ventures. But to really get where Meralco is headed, you kind of have to look back at where it all started. Because all of this innovation is being built on a foundation that's 120 years old.
Yeah, I really love this slide. It just perfectly captures the entire journey in one glance. On the left, you've got the original logo from 1903, back when Meralco was the Manila Electric Railroad and Light Company, and on the right, the modern symbol we all know today. It's just a powerful visual reminder of over a century of evolution.
But through all of that change, one thing has always stayed the same: their purpose. Tagapagatid ng liwanag. It translates to bearers of light, and that's just such a poetic and powerful mission. It frames what they do not just as a utility, but as a fundamental service to society.
And this purpose isn't just a slogan. It's driven by these really deep Filipino values. First up is malasakit, which is all about a deep, genuine care and concern for other people. The whole idea is that being a bearer of light isn't just a technical job, it's an act of care.
And the second key value is bayanihan, which you might know it's that famous Filipino spirit of community and working together. It basically transforms their corporate mission into a cultural promise to always be ready to respond, to help, and to serve. These aren't just words on a page, they're the values shaping everything they do.
So, when you put it all together, it brings us to this final thought. Meralco's story seems to be saying that being a bearer of light today means so much more than just flipping a switch. It means generating that light sustainably, it means innovating far beyond the grid, and it means grounding everything you do in a deep sense of service. And it leaves us with this really critical question. In our world that is changing so fast, what does it truly mean to be a bearer of light for the generations that are yet to come?